What's going on, guys? It's your boy Markomatik. Welcome back to the Markomatik Show. Today, we're going to be mostly talking about the three biggest sized iPhones that they've ever made, and compare them because some people have the iPhone XS Max, some people have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and they're probably asking themselves, is it worth upgrading to the iPhone 12 Max, 12 Pro Max? Sorry, and I say it depends on generally what do you use it for and what specific features do you really need throughout the daily basis. So we're going to get into that right now. All right, guys, welcome back to Markomatik. So whenever you get a chance, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get this channel moving, baby, because we're going to keep moving forward regardless. So here we go. So starting with the iPhone XS Max, which I currently have right now. Let me take it out the case. I'm slacking. I'm usually on point. iPhone XS Max. Sorry, you shift the autofocus. So yeah, the iPhone XS Max. This is a 256 gigabyte. Is it bright enough? No, you can see me though. But yeah, it's a 256 gig iPhone XS Max. Really good phone. I've had this phone for 2 years. It's been a good phone. This has been one of my favorite phones. I said it probably in a couple of videos, but my favorite iPhone of all time was the iPhone 6S Plus, and the XS Max beat that by a long shot. But yeah, the one thing that I miss about the older iPhones is the 3D touch. A lot of people, knocked, just doing that. I mean, you can really do it now, but they have what is called haptic sensor on there. It gives a little bit of a vibration that pops up, but it's not like that 3D touch. 3D touch, you hear that pop, you go, it just popped, and it was cool. It was cool. But that's a story for it. But the XS Max has a 6.5 inch screen, which is going to be literally the same size as the iPhone 11 Pro Max. They both have 4G LTE, and the main difference is going to be the cameras. So with the XS Max, you get a 12 megapixel wide, and then you have the telephoto lens. And of course, with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you have the same thing, where they also added a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Sorry if I could talk. Ultra wide angle over here on the side. A lot of people made fun of it last year, saying it looks like a stove top, which it kind of did, but it works. It works. Of course, these have the 2 times optical zoom range, and the 11 Pro Max has 4. And the 12 Pro Max will have 5. So generally, if you're looking at the differences, if you want to get the best cameras, the 11 Pro Max and 12 Pro Max is where it's at. If you think the camera you have for the XS Max is fine, I say keep it. I'm probably going to get rid of this and go with the 12 Pro Max. And I'm going to tell you why. So, for the most part here, I had 11 Pro Max and went back to the XS Max. And I'll tell you why. I had my own personal feelings about it. Everybody else was like, you crazy. It's an extra wide camera, ultra wide camera. Why would you do that? And it's like, everyone has their own purpose. What makes it so distinctive is that they started having a particular special color for each model every year. So when the XS Max came out, all they had was gold, space gray, and silver. It's what they mostly had, forever. And then 11 Pro Max, they added midnight green. And this year for the 12 Pro Max, they got the Pacific blue. So I think it's starting to trend. And I got a feeling that next year is the year we're going to see Project Red come to the Pro Max models. I said it first. So note this date on Friday, November the 6th, 2020. Markomatik Show confirmed that his hypothesis is that the iPhones for next year, the iPhone 13 Pro Max or iPhone 13 Pro, is going to go product red. Because I see the Apple Watches have gone product red. And, it's for a good cause. So I don't see why they haven't done that already. I feel like it would probably sell even more or give more of the Pro hype. But that's just me. But comparing the three, of course, with the 12 Pro Max, you're going to get a bigger screen. It's 6.7 inches. It's the same size as the Galaxy A70, A71. It's the same size as the Galaxy S20 Plus. And those sold like hotcakes. So it's a very comfortable size. If you're looking for a 5G, experience, then look no further. The 12 Pro Max, or you can always go for the smaller ones, which is the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro, or the 12 mini if you want to go smaller. But this channel is about the big boys now. We're gonna let the other ones sit aside. We're gonna do videos for that another time. But I got my eye on the Pacific Blue one for this year. I think it's gonna really, stand out. Like the midnight green last year kind of stand out. And of course, I still have my Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. Probably going to get rid of it and go with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I know people on YouTube going to be like, you crazy. This right here is the best smartphone in 2020. I mean, it's debatable. You can argue with that. A lot of people would probably agree. But I'm going to tell you why I'm going to the iPhone 12 Pro Max and why mostly everybody else is sticking with Apple. It's that darn ecosystem. You can't really say there is no ecosystem like the iPhones. When it comes to iMessage and FaceTime and AirDrop, which I definitely miss my AirDrops. I really do. The AirDrops is probably worth it because I used to AirDrop, pictures and videos to my wife and my kids. They have Apple devices. I FaceTime my mom all the time, my sister. Pretty much everybody in my family has an iPhone. Besides, I do have a sister-in-law that has a Galaxy. And I was rebelling with her for a little while. And my sister-in-law, they both hardcore Galaxy fans. Bravo to them. If you're loyal, that's cool. But I'm not. But I mean, if you want to say what side I picked the most, it's definitely going to be Apple. All my best friends have iPhones, so it's easy to communicate with them. We play and do emojis and all that stuff. It's fun. It's really fun. Ever since the iPhone 10, I think all my friends has just been sold in the Apple ecosystem. I have some of my best friends is already, that's the only phone they had. I mean, they had Android and it was like, it ain't like the iPhone. I can agree. It's not really like it for the most part. It's not for everyone. But, purpose of the video, if you have the iPhone XS Max, the question is it worth upgrading? Well, it generally depends. If your phone is paid off and you're looking to trade it in towards the 12 Pro Max or trade it towards the 11 Pro Max, it may be worth trading in because, the XS Max is already in the second year. So you're thinking that it might have 3 or 4 more years of updates, but technically, you're stuck with the A12 Bionic chip, and the chips after that has definitely increased the hours of video playback. So the iPhone XS Max has 15 hours of video playback, and then the 11 Pro Max and 12 Pro Max both have 20 hours. But of course, if you look under the fine print, which a lot of people don't look under the fine print, it levels to that. So all battery claims, depend on network configuration and many other factors. Actual results will vary. Battery has limited recharge cycles that may eventually need to be replaced by Apple service provider. Battery life and charge cycles vary by use and settings. There you go. So technically, they say that, you can get up to 20 hours of video playback, but it generally depends. It all plays a factor. Do you have your brightness all the way up? Do you tend to close your applications or keep all your applications open? Because in the background, it could drain your battery. Of course, they all have the infamous Face ID because, they do have the infamous notch here that gives you all the great sensors. As you can tell, it's locked here. Boom. Unlocked. Don't know if you can really see that. Sorry if you can't, but we're going to move on. So, they both have the glass front and back. The only difference is with the iPhone 12 this year, they have a new ceramic shield front, which is supposed to be 4 times better with drop performance. Surgical grade stainless steel around, which this one had the surgical grade stainless steel as well. But these are more round with the 11 Pro Max and 10s Max, but the 12 Pro Max is more of a box shape, kind of similar to the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5. So, and then one feature has came back. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is compatible with MagSafe accessories and wireless chargers. So, all of them can do wireless charging. If you don't believe me, look, this is my 10s Max right here. You can hear it pop up on the wireless charging stand. There you go. You heard it. You know that infamous sound. Boom. That means it's charging. Take it off. Drop it back. There you go. I'm at 100% because I keep this thing charged. When wireless chargers first came out, I was all on that wave. Like I bought about maybe 4 or 5 wireless chargers. I think they were 5 watt at the time. I think I have a 15 watt one with Mophie, and that's the one I use the most, of course. And then you have storage capacity. So with the iPhone XS Max, you have a 64 gigabyte starting out, and so did 11 Pro Max. So iPhones tend to have this thing where they have 64 gigs of storage from the very, for a little while. And it's like, really? Like Android has gone to 128, 256, giving you expandable storage with the SD cards. Like Apple, catch up. Just catch up. And they finally did it with the 12 Pro Max. They start off with 128 gigs now, then it's 256 and 512. I don't think those storages are ever going to change. Most everybody go with the middle storage, which is 256 to be safe. That's what I'm doing. A lot of people go to 512. You're going to be heavily using your phone for video purposes for the most part, and work purposes. I'll say 512 would definitely give you enough. And then, of course, the displays are going to be totally different. Of course, the 11 Pro Max and the 12 Pro Max, they got the Super Retina XDR display, which makes it more of a high dynamic range. As far as vivid in the colors, blacks will be more black and the bright colors will be brighter. The picture will just look a lot better. On the XS Max, it has just a regular Super Retina HD display, so it was technically high def. But if you watch YouTube videos on it now, it can go up to 2180p, which is awesome. But so far as that, 11 Pro Max does have more high dynamic range, but they still have the same pixel resolution as the XS Max. A lot of people don't know that. And then, of course, the contrast ratio, which is like, the brightness, it's going to be brighter for the newer iPhones. Pretty much the same probably with 11 and 12 Pro Max. Same for all three is the True Tone display and the wide color display. Of course, I talked earlier about the 3D touch and the haptic touch, so let's not even get started with that. Before the brightness goes, the XS Max has 625 nits of max brightness. And technically, the iPhone 11 Pro Max last year had 800 nits of max brightness, and then HDR had 1200. And it's going to be the same for this year for the most part. I know it's technically going to be a tad bit brighter because they go into the details and so forth. Both going to be rated IP68 water and dust resistant, which is, to an average consumer. With the 10s Max, you had, where you can submerge your phone in 2 meters of water for 30 minutes. Then it went up to 4 meters with the 11 Pro Max, under the IEC standards. And then the 12 Pro Max now has gone up to 6, which is pretty good. So, it's pretty much like almost, used to be like 3 feet, and it's 4. So I'll say around 6 to 8 feet for 30 minutes, which is pretty impressive. Of course, the Apple processing chip speaks for itself, so we're not going to even talk about that. Now back to the cameras. Of course, I talked about the 12 megapixel wide and telephoto cameras for this one, and then the 11 Pro Max will add a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and then the 12 Pro Max is also going to add 12 megapixel cameras for each of them as well. They're, it's going to have the same aperture as last year. The ultra wide aperture was 2.4, the wide was 1.8, and telephoto was 2.0, which I think this year they upgraded the wide and telephoto apertures from 1.8 to 1.6, which is weird because it's a step down for the 11 Pro Max with the aperture on the wide angle. But the telephoto has gone up to 2.2 instead of 2.0. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Of course, it wasn't no night mode on this camera, but it do have night mode and deep fusion on the 11 Pro Max. I think deep fusion mostly came into the software with the 10s Max, but you can definitely tell the difference on 11 Pro and 12 Pro Max. True Tone Flash will slow sync, and then they got the brighter True Tone for 11 and 12 Pro Maxes. Blase, right? All have 4K videos at 60 frames per second. You can run 1080p, HD video recording at 30 frames if you want, or 60 frames. Which for the most part, I like to do my videos in 1080p and 60 frames. It kind of meets right there in the middle. You're not demanding a lot whenever you're sending the videos, because most videos now are optimized for 720 or 1080. 4K is kind of pushing it. But I think with 5G, it might be okay to send 4K videos. But we'll see. See, if there's anything else that I particularly missed out. Oh, yeah, the front cameras. Of course, you got 7 megapixel on the 10s Max. And then 11 and 12 Pro came out with 12 megapixels, make the front camera a little bit better with true depth. You also have the next generation smart HDRs for photos. All of them have portrait mode and advanced, bokeh, and then they also have the depth controls, which is really good. Portrait lighting, extended dynamic range, and cinematic video stabilization. So you will have all that. Like I said, you're not really missing out on a whole lot besides a couple of key features on each of these. All three of them are great phones. Of course, they don't sell the iPhone XS Max, brand new anymore, so you have to buy it pre-owned. Then, 11 Pro Max, you can still technically find some of it in the stores new, and they got promotions now, so I think where you can get it for like, half the price maybe or something like that. I'm sure some cell phone carriers will have promotions for it. And then the 12 Pro Max, I think now the promotion is $700 off towards the 12 Pro Max with a eligible trade-in. But yeah, all of them is great. But the ultra wide band chip was the ultra wide band chip for it's also possibly in 11 Pro Max. It just wasn't 5G, but there is an ultra wide band chip inside of it. Just to let you know. Let me see. Anything out of the ordinary? Not really. That's mostly it. So, bottom line, if you're going from a 10s Max, going to the 12 Pro Max, I think will probably be a good upgrade for you. You will get that ultra wide camera. You get a bigger screen. You will get a longer lasting battery, and you will get better, better camera quality features. So it will be worth the upgrade. But if you're going from an 11 Pro Max, I would say keep it. Wait to see what the iPhone 13s are going to do next year, because I know it's going to probably be some significant upgrade features with that. And you probably don't want to miss that out, because the 12 Pro Max is going to have a similar look, especially on the back. But it looks like this new design they did with the 12 is going to probably carry over to the 13. So I would say just wait. But that's all I have to say for the video. If you feel free, if you have any questions about everything, tell me what phone you want to upgrade to. Do you have the 10s Max, or are you looking to pick either one of these? Now, if you don't have any of these phones, I'll tell you to definitely go with the 12 Pro Max if you don't have any of these. If you're not really into the design of the 12 Pro Max, 11 Pro Max will be a good buy right now. But I would recommend getting the 10s Max when the 11 and 12 are better, obviously. So, if you have the 10s Max, I say go ahead and upgrade. If you have the 11 Pro Max, I say keep it. 12 Pro Max, looking forward to it coming in Friday. Now I get a chance to play with it, and then I'll let you know more about it. But that's all I have. Thank you for tuning in to the Markomatik Show. Love you guys. Stay safe. God bless. I'll see y'all on the next one. Holla.